it work?
Yeah, this is getting out of
You
control.
got your
This is getting out of control, guys. Really getting out of control. Let me get some videos up here. Yeah, this is really yeah, really getting bad. Really getting bad. I'm gonna start with this one. Gotta turn it down some. You believe the freedom of speech? Well, you don't have that much longer to keep it because it is against the law to deny people their rights. That's why he got rid of the Trump got rid of the Civil Rights Division because all of that suing law enforcement for them mistreating you, all of that's gonna stop. They can do what they want to do now. He already told them you can do what you want to do. It's crazy. Here we go. We're gonna listen to Lil Don Lemon right now.
I'll play it for you. Here it is.
Only days ago, Nick Sortor was assaulted in Portland by a flag burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it from not from the freedom of speech, which I always
What,
felt
freedom of
strongly about,
speech?
but never passed the courts. This is what they do: is they incite. When you burn an American flag, you incite tremendous violence. We have
Freedom of
many
speech.
examples of it.
That's what he said. See, that's what I'm saying. How can you sit up there and say you're here to protect free speech, and then in that instance you say I took a person's freedom of speech away, even though the court said I can't do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway because that's what I want to do to you. I don't believe you should have that freedom to do what you're doing. The court said I can't do it, but I don't care what the court said. Let's get it. Let's read it again. I mean, let's listen to it
Literally
again.
here, he's saying, look, it's obvious that Donald Trump has never read the Constitution, or at least does not have a grasp of it or understanding of it. But he's saying we took someone's freedom of speech away. Did you see that? I'll play it for you. Here it is.
Only days ago, Nick Sortor was assaulted in Portland by a flag burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened?
Did you hear what he said? The court said you have freedom of speech, but what did happen? He doesn't care. He doesn't care what the court said. Let's listen to it again. It's more. It's more to it.
The grasp of it or
But he just
understanding of it.
said he
He's
doesn't
saying
care
we
about your
took
freedom of
someone's
speech.
freedom of speech
Now,
away.
flag
Did
burning.
you see
Let me,
that?
let me just say this. I'm 50 years old, and I think it was appointed in a time in the United States where you couldn't burn a flag. But it did go to the Supreme Court. They said, which I don't agree with flag burning, it is a form of freedom of speech. So if the courts is saying that, then there's nothing you can do about it. But Trump says, no, there's something I can do about it. I'm gonna give you a year in jail no matter what the court say.
I'll play it for you. Here it is.
Only days ago, Nick Sortor was assaulted in Portland by a flag burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it from not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about, but never passed the courts. This is what
Hi.
they do: is they incite when you burn an American flag. You
Did you hear what he said? We're going through it. We're not going through it at the standpoint of freedom of speech. We're basically doing what we want to do. So I guess when you hear what he said, flag burning protesters in Portland, but in January 6th they were beating up cops with flag poles and American flags, and they went to jail. Let me see. Yeah, people went to jail. Oh, but they did get pardoned, though, didn't they? They definitely did. So, where is the law and order? Where is the law and order? Oh, and you know what? I meant to say this. Have you noticed every time that there's a riot or a protest or whatever you want to call it, like in Chicago or Los Angeles, there's a few people down there in front of the ICE building. Yeah, they are saying what they're saying. They got a freedom of speech, right? As long as they're not hurting anybody or doing anything, you got freedom of speech. But Trump sends in the military, and then the people come, and it's overblown, and there's people in the streets. Portland had 9 people in front of the ICE building. What happened was Stephen Miller showed him some old photos of years ago, photos and videos. And he thought the people were in the streets like that now. It was 9 people. And then when the guard showed up, you got 5,000 people out there. See, you're creating. Is disorganization the word? Well, I'm going to just use it. Disorganization. By putting the military out there. We as Americans, I'm going to say I don't like it. I love my military. I don't want to see them in the streets. They have a job to do. And that's doing what they're trained to do. Not to pick on American citizens or intimidate American citizens. Because that's what they're meant to do when he put them out there now. Okay, now let's get to this MAGA pastor. This MAGA pastor says, according to the Bible, the black youth should just be killed. See, this is what
United States.
I'm going to put it like this. I don't think all MAGA is racist, but I think all racist is MAGA.
MAGA pastor has basically called for executing rebellious black people.
What racist or supremacy or whatever W supremacy party, they don't vote for Democrats. They vote Republican. All of them good old boys vote Republican. We don't have that. Well, you might, but
the actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than whites. And whites are significantly greater, 60% compared to 13% percentage of the population. Yeah. So if you take that, and then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted.
Yeah, listen what he's saying. He's using the Bible to say black youth should be basically deleted from the Bible. He's using the Bible. Oh man,
MAGA pastor has basically called for executing rebellious black youth. Here it is.
The actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than whites. And whites are significantly greater, 60% compared to 13% percentage of the population. Yeah. So if you take that, and then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted through Moses. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood, and they're rebellious. They don't listen. He lists some characteristics, and even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son, and then they stone him to death. They kill him. And an armed robber would certainly be one of those. Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto violent crimes. Basically, take ghetto culture. It would describe this to a T.
So there you have it.
Ridiculous. If you recall.
So there you have it. A man of God, a MAGA pastor saying another set of people should be just erased. He said the black youth should just be erased because that's what the Bible says.
Against
This
black
is
children,
sick.
I won't stand for it.
And it's coming from a MAGA
will not
pastor. I mean,
hijack
yeah, I
my
get it, a
faith.
MAGA pastor,
And
but
you will not
you can't be for
mislead
God and you're
individuals
spewing
into
this bull
believing that
BS.
somehow that rebellious young black men be executed by the state, he claims. That is in the
This is sad.
MAGA pastor has basically called for executing rebellious black youth. Here it is.
The actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than whites. And whites are significantly greater, 60% compared to 13%
Percentage of the population, yeah.
So if you take that, then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted through Moses. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood and they're rebellious, they don't listen. He lists some characteristics and even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son, and then they stone him to death. They kill him.
And an armed robber would certainly be one of those.
Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto
Violent
culture.
crimes,
Basically, take ghetto culture, it would describe this to a T.
So you take ghetto culture and you're supposed to just drag them out and just stone them. That's what you're supposed to do to ghetto culture. That's what the pastor just said. These people are sick. These people are effing sick. How are you going to take a whole race of people, take them out and stone them because you don't understand them? I don't see that's just pure hatred. You don't. People don't understand, man. I'm gonna lay it down to you. I'm gonna just tell you. I'm gonna be real with you. There are some things that my party, the Democrats, are saying that I think they're lying about. And I'm gonna tell you the things I think they're lying about. Now, I do get while we're in the shutdown. And let me get my train of thought. Now, when they say immigrants don't receive health care, they don't. When they say, what the hell happened to that? What's up? No, so they don't. They receive emergency care when they go to the emergency room. Now, I stay in Texas. I'm from Dallas. Now, I do go to the hospital a lot. Every time I go in there, it's packed. It is definitely packed. Hello, everybody. What's going on? And like when my mom was alive, she did receive like SNAP benefits. You know, she was receiving SSI. She was in her 70s. And when I used to have to go up there to turn in her paperwork, it was packed up there too, guys. And I witnessed an immigrant just got here. I think they was here a few months. And they had a job already at Amazon, driving trucks. I don't even know how you drive in trucks at Amazon and you're an immigrant. But anyway, they was translating. They had to get a translator to see. He had 4 kids and a wife. How much SNAP's benefits they were going to receive that month. I heard the woman say $4,000. Yeah, what's your favorite game? $4,000 in SNAP's benefits. So when they say they're not receiving it, they definitely do. In Texas, they do. Because I've seen it. I don't even know how they're able to get brand new cars, but I've seen that too. Because I stayed next door to a few of them. This is, but as far as, we're going to get back to it. As far as the president taking away people's right to speak, it's out of control. The man is out of control. He just clearly says, I don't really care about the freedom of speech part. We're not doing that anymore.
I want to go through a couple of things with you and listen to.
He said, we're not doing that freedom of speech thing anymore. That's what President Trump said. I don't care what the Supreme Court said. They already ruled. They didn't rule the way I wanted them to rule. So what I'm going to do is sign an executive order saying that you can't do the thing that the court said you can do. I'm going to make it a crime, even though the court said it's not a crime, because that's what I want to do.
The day. This is
Here we
Donald
go.
Trump. Now, see if you can explain to me what he's talking about, because clearly here he's saying, look, it's obvious that Donald Trump has never read the Constitution, or at least does not have a grasp of it or understanding
He
of it.
tells you.
He's saying
We took somebody's freedom of speech, even though the court said I can't do that. I did it anyway.
someone's freedom of speech away. Did you see that? I'll play it for you. Here it is.
Only days ago, Nick Sortor was assaulted in Portland by a flag burning mob, and we've made it.
Oh, let me stop you right there. Did you hear what he said? A flag burning mob. There was one. Did you hear him name one guy? It was one guy. When Trump signed the executive order, said it was against the law to burn flags, the guy just went out there and got an American flag, set it on the ground, and burnt it. He said, "This is freedom of speech. Trump can't do that to me." They arrested him anyway. That's what that was about. So it wasn't a mob out there. And you can look the video up. It was just one guy burning the flag and people taking pictures of it. He just didn't like it. Oh, Alabama, yeah. I watched the Crimson Tide. Yeah, I watched the
inciting
Crimson.
riots. We took the freedom of speech.
Yeah, I watch football. I'm a football
Okay,
fan.
for you. Here it is.
Listen, guys.
Only days ago, Nick Sortor was assaulted in Portland by a flag burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides.
Since I got more people, we're going to
Right,
rewind that.
so-
And you can hear him say they took his freedom of speech away. He's lying and said there was a mob. It was one guy burning a flag and people taking pictures. But in his wording, it was a flag burning mob. One guy is not a mob.
A grasp of our understanding of it. He's saying we took someone's freedom of speech away. Did you see that? I'll play it for you. Here it is.
Only days ago, Nick Sortor was assaulted in Portland by a flag burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech.
You got freedom of speech.
What has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about. But
Yeah, we're not looking at it from freedom of speech. I even thought strongly about it. You know what? I just don't like it. I don't like that form of freedom of speech. I think that should be outlawed. That's all
ask
it
the
is.
courts, this is what they do: is they incite when you burn an American flag.
You know, every president that I've known, basically, they go by what the citizens want the world to be. But in Donald Trump's America, he runs it like what he thinks the world should be for everybody. This is the way I want it set up for you. You're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do this, and it's like right now. Believe me, guys. When I tell you this, Donald Trump does not want to reopen the government. His words and his actions prove it. What he said was, since they did this, it's on the Democrats. Now I can go after your health care. I can go after your SNAP benefits. I can do whatever I want. He's not. Why did the Republicans leave Washington, D.C.? The Democrats are there, ready to make a deal. All the Republicans are gone. They went home. There's one party there trying to get it done, still there ready to work, and there's another party at home doing what they do. Yeah, you're right about that. That man is gonna, I'm telling you, if somebody don't stop him from doing what he's doing, he is going to ruin this country. He's already ruined it. But it's going to get so bad when you go into the grocery store, people are going to be looking at each other like, is that the enemy? Is that the enemy? It's going to get like that. We're no longer Americans, fellow Americans. We are enemies. That's what they say. That's what Fox News is. They said after Charlie Kirk, they don't want to get along anymore. They blame it. Listen, I'm not gonna put the things that one person says on a whole. I'm not gonna paint everybody with a broad brush. That's the same. So just because one person did it and he might vote a certain way, why is it that you're just gonna paint everybody in that party with a broad brush and say all of you do it? If that's the case, then we can do it. I can do the same thing. I can say, well, everybody in Trump party is basically crooked and corrupt. Look who he has there. Most of them, some of the guy was in the Epstein files, like Lutnick. He's in the Epstein files. They won't release the Epstein files. They don't want to release the Epstein files. They are scared to release the Epstein files. Lutnick stayed next door to Jeffrey Epstein.